Hello, everybody. Just want to thank you for coming today to this ATG USA webinar, Room with a View, Easily Create and Manage Revit Views with ViewCreator. My name is Brian Weeks, and I'm a Senior AEC Technical Specialist for ATG USA. I've been in the industry for 22 years as a project manager, BIM manager, and project architect, and specializing in Revit modeling and rendering. I can become an essential part of your team by through ATG team augmentation. And basically what that is a firm can hire myself or any of our other team augmentators, our team specialists, and join your team, and with our background, assist you with your projects, maybe behind schedule, or you need some assistance in drafting, so we can become part of your team. So just contact your ATG sales representative for more information. And today I'm giving this presentation on a BIMBox Stryker M mobile workstation. The amount of time this computer saved me is indescribable. That's a true statement. It's probably the fastest computer I've ever personally worked on in 22 years. And it's, as you can see from my screen, i9 processor, 64 gig of RAM, and you can get more information, benchmarks, and a BIMBox white paper to compare it to your own computer on atgusa.com, products, BIMBox. So today we're going to talk about the CTC Tool View Creator. And what it does is it enables users to quickly and consistently create views in their projects. ViewCreator is part of the CTC Tools BIM project suite. You can download a 14-day trial of any of these BIM suite tools, and you can contact your ATG sales representative or visit atgusa.com for more information. And today, using this tool, we're going to be learning about how easy it is to create not only multiple views simultaneously, but duplicate, rename, and apply view templates as well, all using this tool. So two things before I get started. If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat, save them till the end of the presentation, and I'll type them in and I'll answer those questions then. Also, if you could stick around till the end of the presentation, we actually have a short 3-question poll that we'd like for you to provide some answers on, and that just helps us provide content to help you with what you're looking for. If we can provide webinars and blogs and things of that nature on subjects that you're interested in, then our techs here at ATG can provide feedback and provide that information and content. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. So ViewCreator is a CTC tool that operates from within Revit, and so it's a plug-in, but you don't have to exit Revit to use this tool. With ViewCreator, you can manage levels, create plan views, duplicate views, or generate dependent views. There's a lot of different options and depth to this individual product, and I'll show you here in a second more in depth, but you can see from the image on my screen, all these tabs across the top are all various views that we have the ability to create and modify from within ViewCreator. Now, some detailed features within ViewCreator allow you to control your naming conventions, control abbreviations. You can actually generate phased elevations and schedules, 3D worksheets, duplicate views a selected number of times, so you can tell how many times you want to duplicate a view. So there's a lot of depth into this plugin. So I'm going to go ahead and show you our demonstration. And so I have just a sample starter project here. And first thing I want to do is just kind of show you, and I'm sure, of course, many of you that use Revit on a regular basis know this, but I just want, real quickly, I want to show you the process on some of these things that as architects and drafters that we have to, our workflow on a daily basis of what we have to go through to create these views using the out-of-the-box Revit tools. So for example, so for the first one, for a level, you typically have to, there's several different ways, of course, in Revit to do everything, but if you're wanting to create a new level, you would typically go to my workflow, and yours may vary a little bit, but your typical workflow is going to be to go into your elevations and create a new view or create a new level. And so give me a second. I'm going to, levels are good. And so when you create a new level, it typically just involves, drawing your line for your level, specify, what level you're going to set it at. And then it shows up, of course, with the enlarged plan, because that's the plan that it generated. But if there's a particular view that I want to create, and I can create it to where I'm not duplicating existing views, you can also create new levels through here by duplicating floors, by duplicating the levels. So kind of a process that you have to go through, clicking on buttons, making sure that you can see it in your elevations. Plans, I just actually showed you that as well through that same process, creating the floor plan or flex assume plan. Any of these views have to be created through separate menus. Elevations, of course, many of you are familiar with as well, and that is when you create your elevation, you have to go to view, create your elevation, and then of course whatever it is I'm just going to draw a wall so we kind of know where we're at here. And so that's how the views start getting generated, is by going to view and creating. And again, this is just kind of a refresher to show the process. So every time you create a view, you have to go through and do these individually. Create a schedule. We've got to go through this process of generating whatever kind of schedule we want. Door schedule, we select our fields that we want to generate, and it generates that schedule. To duplicate it, you have to almost go through the same process to duplicate that schedule anytime you're generating multiple schedules, even for multiple floors. Assigning view templates to views, of course, typically, at least with my workflow, takes place through the properties browser on the left-hand side, or if you have yours floating on the right, wherever you prefer to have that. Typically, your templates are assigned individually to that view through your browser. And you can, of course, if you don't know, many people don't know that you can select, holding down Control, select multiples and apply your template to whatever template you need for that elevation or plan. You can do those multiple, but that's about the extent of that. So now we're going to take a look at CTC Tools View Creator and how easy it is to do all those views at one time within this tool. So if you go to, I said in the beginning of my presentation, you can go to the ATG USA website and download any of the available project suites that we have, or suites that we have through CTC, or that we offer with CTC, which is the BIM batch suite. We have a manager suite, the project suite, and Hive. So Hive is a cloud-based Revit library that your company can utilize. You use the cloud storage, I should say, not a library, but a cloud storage to where you can create your library for your company, share that in the cloud. Project Suite, I use most of these on a daily basis with the projects that I am with my team augmentation, and when I'm working with other companies. Renumbering tools, Invisibility Advisor is a great one. So there's a lot of great tools in that. The light colored buttons are the free tools. The dark colored buttons are the premium tools. So if you ever download any of these, there's a 14-day trial, and some of these premium tools do not have full functionality on the 14-day trial. Otherwise, what would be the sense of selling the software? But you can try a lot of these out during that 14-day. And again, we'd be happy to do a presentation for your company or a luncheon, like we can do a presentation during your lunch via the webcam, that we can provide presentations on these. But back to the project suite. We go to the project suite, and under View Creator, this tool assists in the creation and management of views. So very straightforward. Go ahead and click on that. View Creator and all of the CTC tools have a toolbar at the top that gives you your options on how you want to see your buttons at the top. You're controlling the visibility of this tool. Anytime you need assistance on any of the CTC tools, you click on the videos button. It will actually take you to the internet, directly to the YouTube channel, YouTube video for the particular software you're working on. There's a lot of great content there. Also with support, you can contact support if you have suggestions or any issues. We particularly love suggestions, because what that does is that makes our software better. So if you go, hey, I'd really love to see something in this software, you can email it to us, and of course our software programmers can take a look at that. So all right, let's jump right into this. Very straightforward with almost every single piece of CTC software, in that not only does it run inside Revit, but it's laid out to create a simple workflow for you and your employees to use. Follow the tabs, follow the instructions as they come up. Very straightforward. So first of all, we'll take a look at levels. So if you recall, over here I had to go to my levels tab, create a new level, go to my elevation, plug it in. With the View Creator, I can create multiple levels. I can add a level. So I've got right now lower level, main level. That one I created a second ago, just showing you the example of how it's typically done. We can create a third level. And tell it, for now I can tell it 40 feet. Let's go ahead and maybe we can rearrange some of these to so lower levels -12, main floor. Second level would be 12 foot. It looks like we need to get our third level, if we're gonna just kind of keep it even, We can go 24 feet. And the cool thing is that you can see how I can have overlapping levels. It's not going to give me any errors because I haven't created or updated any of those new levels yet. And of course you can have overlapping levels, but typically that's not something you would want to do. And of course you can if you have different buildings tied in together perhaps. So 36. Let's go 48. And then my parapet will do at 4 foot above that. So we've kind of got our levels, and now I can create and update those levels. And it created 1 and updated 3, and it gives me errors if anything was in error. I'm going to go ahead and close this for a moment just so we can kind of see what we got going on. Looks like we got some crop regions kind of mucking up some stuff here. So I'm going to turn off my elevations. I'm just kind of wanting to see where my levels are. There they are. And then it's looks like we've got a filter setting here. And I need to zoom my extents, but my levels are there. All right, well, they're off in the distance. I'm not going to spend time with my template. That's a template error because it's showing all my other levels off in the distance there. But it did create those. You can see the new ones it created. Now, with plans and ceiling views, you can actually do a lot of stuff from just this one tab. You can abbreviate your levels, which will add, you can add suffixes and prefixes to your levels if you're creating new views based off of those. Let me go back out here to where you can see my floor plan. So right now, I'm not showing any floor plans generated views, even though we do have those levels. So in this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and I want to select all of these. So that's my roof. Let's make this 4. Let's make this 3. I want to generate some general plans. Let's generate a code plan for those. Let's generate a demo plan and maybe a finish plan. Do we want annotation? Really, probably annotation demo. So you can also select your phases as well, and it will set those views according to the phases you have. Don't need an existing. You can do an existing if you choose, but typical construction drawings aren't going to show existing. They're going to be the existing demo, of course. So I'm going to add those. And then down here below, it's going to show you all the views that it's going to create at one time. So imagine as project manager and you're having, or BIM manager, and you're having to create each of these levels and each of these views before you issue this project to your team to start working on. So that's quite a bit of time there saved. Now you can also apply you can change your naming conventions through here. Right now I've just got level, view template, phase. You can have a lot of modifications there. We also have ceiling plans. So I'm going to go ahead and add my ceiling plan just to general for now. And I'll keep all those phases the same. Add those. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit create view. Take a second. So then it tells you in just that little 10-second blip there, it created 105 plan views. How long would it have taken you to do that without ViewCreator? So, and of course, we don't have any content in the model yet, except those walls I drew. But yeah, incredible time saver just for the plans. All right, let's get back into it. So now let's create some elevations. Let me get out here to where we can watch this happen. And of course, it separated all this up by phases. So annotation demo, and you can rename these or create your own naming conventions, whatever your company's standards may be. When you, of course, generate these are based off of the phases that are currently in the project. So to rename those or create new ones, you will do that in your phase controls, not through ViewCreator. But let's go ahead and we're going to create some elevations. Let's just do all new construction. That's really all I need right now is new construction. Maybe we do need a demo. Create those views. Created 8. Boy, that was even faster, of course. And then you come over here and it duplicated, because we have, you have your base view that Revit creates when you create a view, but then we're creating a new view based off of the phase. And so it renames those. Next up on the list, we got dependent views. And so you would create a scope box to have your dependent views. So let me show you how that works. So in this case, you would create your, first thing you would do is have to create your dependent view. In your plan. So you would have your scope box. Let's see here. And nope, not scope. Sorry. I was on a different mindset there. I have a feeling I do this a lot because you got to find all the buttons that you're looking for. Sorry about that. So if I do a plan region, yeah, that's why I did want a plan. I did need a scope box, not a plan region. Sorry. Area A, area B. Let's go ahead and just draw a wall in here just so we kind of know where stuff is. Go back to our ViewCreator. And then in our dependent views, it's actually going to list all of the views that we currently have created, what type it is, and then the region itself that we want to select. So typically you would have, you know, for your floor plans, you're probably going to want enlarged plans of that. Your ceilings, you're going to want enlarged plans. So, I mean, really, you could just go through and, you know, check all of those. Let's see here. Sorry about that. I selected the wrong button. So you can check selected. I was making it look harder than it really is. Create your duplicate views. Or I should say, I'm sorry, your dependent views. And then if you go into your project browser, you can look on those plans and how it's automatically separated and created new views for those scope boxes. All right, we'll go to the next one, which are schedules. And with schedules, this is great for if you're doing maybe individual sheets on per floor. And some, you know, some firms do that. They'll have, especially on larger projects, you'll have your floor separated by areas and you'll package those together. That's definitely an option with this, because then you can actually duplicate your schedules per level. So it's as easy as checkboxing, and it created 14 schedules off of the doors and rooms, and then separates it and labels it by floor. We'll go to the next tab. Sheets and title blocks. Oh, this is so helpful, because if you're going to have multiple sheet borders, if you're going to have maybe you'll have your MEP or structural, and they're going to have their set linked in, but then you're generating new sheets based off of stuff that's been created after the model's been linked, and you guys are working together on it, of course, but you need to generate some new sheets using their border, or maybe the civil border, or, you know, you get the idea. Well, with this, any of the sheets that are currently loaded into your project, your sheet border types, I should say, show up here, and you can, and it'll list the sheets you have created, and you can add sheets. So you can batch add sheets, and this is a cool tool as well, because with the batch add sheets, you can, you know, if you have your master list, you can copy paste from Word and insert those sheet names, and it will generate those names. But for now, we can just, you know, generate our sheet names. Let's say floor plan, and then we'll have our reflected ceiling plan, and then maybe elevations, sections, details, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6. And then right now it's just set up as standard, but maybe I need to have those changed to, you know, MEP format or whatever those may be. Then you can select You can also have various, all in one selection. You can generate various sheets, and then you just hit process. It created 5 new sheet views based off of the list that I just specified. Here, let's do, let me get out of that so you can see the sheets. And of course, it hasn't categorized them, but we can definitely sort those out as you categorize your sheets. So again, generated 5 new sheets. The traditional method, right click, left sheet, left click new sheet, pick the one you want. It opens up. Oh, I forgot, I got to change it to the Burlington style, or I've got to change it to a different style. So a lot of the monotony of generating sheets has also been taken out of, taken away with this tool. Work sets, for those firms that use work sets, you can also generate, in the same method, generate new views based off of those work sets. So if you have floor plan views or anything like that separated up, you can generate new views based off of those work sets. You can also duplicate views. And so the traditional, I'm trying to remember if I covered this. I think I skipped over it before accidentally. So to duplicate a view previously, of course, as it is out of the box, you have to go to your plan, right click on it, duplicate a view, and then you get your options pulled up. Duplicate with detailing, duplicate it as a dependent, and just to refresh, if you do duplicate with detailing, it's going to create a whole new view, but with everything that's been drawn in the original view. Duplicate as a dependent, we'll pop it underneath the original view. It retains the same properties as the original view. So any changes that happen in this original view also happen in the dependent view. Well, to have to do that for the 120 plans that we generated earlier would take quite a long time with the traditional method. But with ViewCreator, you can go to duplicate views. It lists out every view that you currently have. You can select all. You can rearrange, or select the number of duplicates you want, like globally, or you can type it in here for the number entry, the numerical entry. You can also view them and sort, because it is overwhelming, especially if you were to have a hotel or casino or medical center that has a lot of floors. This does get kind of overwhelming to have all your views in one spot. So you can sort them out. You can say, oh, I just want first floor, and then I want to, and again, you can just select using shift. So let's just say our floor plans, and we're going to check selected, and we want 2 duplicates. Maybe we're going to be doing some enlarged enlarged plans or something of these. And then do we want to duplicate these? Duplicate with detailing, duplicate as a dependent. Well, if we're going to be changing the scale, we want to probably duplicate it with detailing, but not as a dependent, because we're going to need to change the scale different from the original. You can also change the name of it. So maybe we're going to do enlarged, and we're going to create those duplicate views. And then over here, you can see where it's actually duplicated the original views twice. It did that for each one. Let's see, or did it just do it for, I thought I had selected all those. Maybe I didn't select all or hit the right ones, but it duplicates that view as a, whatever the selection was that you make, whether it's a dependent view or just a detailing view. All right, lastly, we have view templates. And with view templates, you can actually assign view templates to multiple views at one time. Whereas, again, we'll refresh your memory from the very beginning of the presentation. If we need to change a view template on a particular view, then we kind of have to either one by one, or we can select, or you can do some shift and control work here to change your template to a different template. That's the out of the box Revit way to do it. With ViewCreator, you can actually assign those view templates to multiple views depending on what you select. So, for example, I mean, it shows me kind of what my views are what my view templates are currently listed under. Ceiling plans, 3D views. Let's look at. We'll just kind of narrow this down. Let's look at our say finished plans, and then over here I can look at my floor plans. And let's see here. Oh, I've got this now. Sorry. Kind of zoned out there. Because I was figuring these have already been applied. Architectural. And then I need to find my views. So all of these views are assigned to these templates. And so the difference is that the views that are over here haven't been assigned templates yet. The views over here have been assigned templates. And so when you want to shift or assign a view template, you would apply it to whichever one. So like if I moved these to interior, and then my ceilings, I'm going to move to level 6 to existing. And then maybe I want to reassign. You can actually reassign these. And I hit delete over here. And then I'm going to move these to existing. And so by selectively shifting left, back and forth, these are views that have not been assigned a template. These are views that have been assigned a template. Schedules, I'll just drag them all over here to the schedule view. We don't have a schedule view type. But once you do all that and you hit your apply changes, it's going to process all the views that we kind of shifted around and moved. And then it's going to give you a list of the views that moved, and it's going to tell you, where they went to, what was the source, what was it updated to. So, that's it for view template. Excuse me. And jump back over here. And if you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to type it up in the chat window. I'll go ahead and, oh, there's a question. Can you assign view templates to the views as you create them? From Heather, and I'm trying to, so when you create the view in, or the view template in Revit, is that what you're referring to? And if it is, then yes. Now, because the ViewCreator is a plugin within, you'll have to get out of the ViewCreator, and then you can, of course, through your view graphics, view templates, you can manage your view templates. So if you're going to create a new view template, that still happens within the view templates. Because you need, you need to tell it what the differences are between, what's the difference with the new view template. But you can create it, and let's say we duplicate this and we call it floor plan new template, and we change the scale or whatever it is we do to it. And then if we were to go back to our view creator, that new view template would show up. It would be over here. Let's see. That was a floor plan. There's my new template. Take some of my views. I'm going to delete them from general, but then I'm going to add them back to new template, and then apply those changes. Let's see, as you create or duplicate a view, can you assign your view template at the same time, or is it a separate step? When you create your view, and you can apply your, let's see, so if we're going to do, let's just do one. View, roof floor plan, new construction, and then you can add it. But the view template selection, I mean, you can sort it by view template. But it doesn't allow you to apply that there. This is just a create view. So you would, I mean, it's almost like a kind of a step-by-step when you follow, and most of CTC tools are like this, that when you kind of start from a left to right, click your tabs. So, when you start a project, you would initially, as a BIM manager, you'd start your levels, then you'd create your plans and ceilings, then you'd create your elevations. And so anyway, view templates are typically kind of the last thing applied, because that's when you start wanting to control. But you don't have to get in and out of the program, but it would be a separate step, in the sense that, here, let me do this again. And then we'll just make some new views. Let's do existing, because that way we know we hadn't done any existing. Let's see, what did I not select here? Oh, because I changed stuff. Yeah, I want it by level. That's why it was acting weird. Okay, and then I can create those views. I don't have to get out of I don't have to get out of ViewCreator. I can just instantly go over here to the view template. Well, I take that back. I may have learned something new here. I didn't think you could select both. What's the view template? View template phase. And I say that because I come over here and they're not listed in there anymore. So it would be my floor plan and existing. Oh, because I selected existing, so it's in the existing view template. So the existing phase associated with the view template. So I digress. It did do that. That's a great question because, like I said, I've done Revit for over 15 years. I learned if you're not learning something new every day in Revit, then you're not learning anything. So yeah, great question, Heather, because it instantly because I selected the view template and the phase, and I was able to select what I wanted in existing, and it actually put it in the existing template phase and template, I should say. So very cool. I do want to think we've got a couple more people voting through. That's fine. I want to thank everyone for sitting in today and taking your lunch, and I hope everyone's being safe, of course, with everything that's going on. And if things are getting kind of hectic and crazy at the office, again, definitely let us know, let your ATG sales rep know, and we can definitely offer our services through team augmentation. And that's it. Hey guys, appreciate it. Have a happy Independence Day and a safe 4th of July weekend. And be sure to join us on our next webinar. Thank you.